I think one of the most common misconceptions around reducing carbon emissions is the fact that it has to cost money, that there will always be an increase in the cost of something when we reduce emissions. And that is sometimes the case. But a lot of the time when we start looking at systems and processes, you can find enough inefficiencies that there's actually enough waste and byproducts that we can drive down carbon emissions without increasing costs and actually creating savings. My name is Brian McCain, and I'm the Global Director for Environment and Resource Efficient Operations at McCain Foods. I think circularity is really important. To me, circularity means that we can return the waste products from a process back to the beginning and use them as inputs again for a new process. And not just in terms of recycling, but in terms of bringing them back to the same process. Often recycling involves downgrading material from one process to the next until it becomes no longer usable. In a truly circular system, you bring it right back to the very beginning. So in Florenceville, we're currently looking at a waste heat recovery project. Today, we take water for our process out of the St. John River, use it in our process, put it through our wastewater treatment facility, and then discharge it back into the river. In the winter, that water comes out of the river at about 2 or 3 degrees Celsius, and we have to put a lot of energy into heating that up. And it leaves our wastewater treatment process and goes back into the river at about 30 degrees Celsius. So we're putting a lot of heat back into the river and using a lot of energy to heat the water coming in. So what we're installing here in Florenceville is a heat recovery system that allows us to recover that waste energy in the water we're discharging into the river and use that instead of natural gas to heat our water entering the factory. And that will lower our energy costs, that will lower our carbon emissions here at the site in Florenceville. This project doesn't just have benefits to McCain, but also to the environment as well. When you look at river systems, discharging that water at a colder temperature back into the river is actually beneficial for that river ecosystem as well.
So I grew up in South Africa, and after school I studied chemical engineering at the University of Pretoria, whereafter I did a master's degree in polymer materials. I had a bursary for those studies through the local power utility, and that's where I started off my first job and had the first exposure to the environmental space. My name is Ansie Van Wijk, and I'm the manager for Global Resource Efficient Operations at McCain Foods. We have operations in North America, Latin America, Great Britain, South Africa, India, China, Australia, New Zealand, so all over the globe. I typically work with the sites and the operators to put action plans together and get them the right tools to reduce their water, energy, waste footprint at the sites. Globally, we work with subject matter experts to put together best operating practices, which is once again tools then for the operators to use to achieve best practice and better efficiency. Our team is really energetic and passionate about Reduce. Sustainability is at the core of all our activities.
Sustainability can really be integrated into any job. You don't need to be a sustainability professional to have an impact. You know, within our work that we do at McCain, we have to involve accounting, we have to involve supply chain, we have to involve engineering, we have to involve lawyers. And I think regardless of what you go into, it's important that you find something that you're passionate about. And if you care about sustainability, you can then look at the work you're doing and say, how can I have an impact with what I do?
My favorite part is actually having the ability to see the impact of these projects coming to life, seeing us, our CO2 numbers drop, and understanding that we have a physical impact on improving the world for future generations.
When you get into the workforce, you find that there are a lot of people with a lot of experience, and that experience can bring tremendous capability. but it can also bring a sense of being stuck in a loop and doing the same thing over and over again. By bringing new people into the workforce or young people into the workforce who really don't have that past experience, don't have that knowledge of this is how we've done things before, therefore that's how we're going to do things in the future, they can challenge everything that we do and say, why don't we do it a different way? Why don't we try something else? And sometimes that will fail, but sometimes it will work and lead to a breakthrough. So combining that extensive experience that people in our workforce with 20, 30 years of experience have with bright, fresh new ideas is generally what leads to breakthrough innovation.